Hey everyone, so for today's video I'm going to do the throwback tag, which is just a bunch of random questions that are about my childhood, and yeah. So question number 1, what year were you born in? I was born in 1993, which to some of my viewers might seem like a very long time ago, but it's honestly not. I'm only 21, like that's not that old. Do you have any pictures from when you were younger? There are tons of pictures of me from when I was younger. Like, every stage of my life, there are so many pictures. For example, my Nana, she had these different photo albums of all of us kids from when we were younger. And I had a huge photo album, and everyone else just had like a little tiny one. And I think the reason for this is because I was the first grandchild, and when I was younger, there was like cameras always around, but then as more and more cousins were born, it's a little more difficult to capture everything. What TV shows did I watch? I think my top 3 were Powerpuff Girls, Pokemon, and Arthur. I was obsessed with Arthur. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone who was a kid at the same time as me watched that show, but like I'm pretty sure I've seen every episode. Question number 4, what did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want to be that now? I honestly don't know what I wanted to be when I was little, and the whole purpose of this YouTube channel is the fact that I don't really know what I want to do as a career. So obviously what I wanted to be then doesn't line up with what I want to be now, because I don't know what I want to be. And when I was little, I probably had like a clear, this is what I want to do. What were your favorite toys to play with? Obviously Barbies. Like, what little girl didn't play with Barbies back then? Now there's so much cool toys that like you don't have to play with just Barbies, but for me, it seemed like that's all there really was. I had this huge Rubbermaid filled with them, and we went through them like a few years ago and got rid of a whole bunch, but it's still kind of cool that I had so many. Question 7, what is the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing? I don't know if this is embarrassing per se, but it's kind of embarrassing to admit now. When we still lived in Belleville, we had this paper boy. I don't know how old he was, but I was like 4 or 5. And I hated him. And I'm kind of a little bit of like an evil genius. And I guess I was back then too. And I convinced my brothers and this other girl that my mom babysat that we should set up booby traps with bricks to try to kill him. Like, I don't even know if I should admit this now because it is kind of scary, but whatever. I think it's kind of funny, but it's also super embarrassing to admit. Read something you wrote in kindergarten. My mom bought us these books filled with all of, like, you get to put stuff for each grade, and mine's filled. My brothers, I don't think they took the time to fill it. And so I probably could read you something that I wrote in kindergarten, but I don't know where that book is. So that's not happening today. Maybe if I find it, that can be a vlog on its own, just reading different things that I wrote. 3 songs you'd love to listen to as a child. Number 1, the Arthur theme song. Number 2, the Pokemon theme song. I'm pretty sure everyone could sing that. If I was a good singer, I'd sing it for you, but I'm not. Let's not go there. And number 3, anything written by the Spice Girls. I was like obsessed with them. That's like the first musical obsession I ever had. And when I was little, we had this trailer, and every year there was a talent show on Labor Day weekend. And my friends and I, we would do little dances to Spice Girls songs. I have videos of that somewhere. I should find that. We would even like wear matching sparkly sequiny dance outfits, and one of our friends' grandmothers owned a dance studio and she would try to choreograph it, but being so little, I don't even think we listened to her. She probably kind of hated us because she was used to girls who actually knew what they were doing, and we didn't at all. What is one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween? I don't think I was ever anything funny for Halloween. But one costume that really stands out is when I was like, I think I was 4, maybe 5. I was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz for Halloween. I had like the dress, and we still have it downstairs in our costume box. Like, I even had this little stuffed animal dog that I dragged behind me as Toto to make the costume more authentic. So that's how cool it was. Tell a story that is funny from your childhood. Again, with the evil genius line. I used to convince my brother during bath time that the soap was actually white chocolate. And he would take a bite out of it. He'd start crying. And then I'd be like, no, Brendan, I promise. Like, this one is white chocolate. He'd bite it again and it was still soap. Are there any special things you've kept from when you were a child? I'm very, like, a sentimental person, so I have, like, a lot of things from when I was a kid that most of it doesn't really mean anything, but one thing that comes to mind is that I have all my old dance uniforms from when I did dance lessons for a few years, and like it's weird because I'm not even like a dancer now. Like, I hate dancing, but I kept these and they're so cute. I wish I could fit in them. They make like good outfits. One of them's like a sequin crop top. It's funny because crop tops are back in style now, but it's not gonna fit me because I was some skinny little 4-year-old then. What's something weird you did as a child? I just explained my evil genius stories. I think that counts as weird. What's the scariest thing that happened when you were younger? There was this one time, I think I was in grade 3, so yeah. So I was like 10. My dad took us downtown Toronto for our March break, and we were on the subway, and there was this crazy little drunk man that was singing. Like, he couldn't even stand. He was swaying back and forth, and his bottle was in an LCBO, one of those bags they have, like those cardboard bags, I guess? Paper bags? And he tried to fight my dad. And I was completely terrified. And looking back on it now though, like, my dad's a big man. What's this little drunk guy gonna be able to do? Like, I doubt he had a knife or anything. He was just a drunk guy wanting to fight my dad. Yeah, that's probably the scariest thing that ever happened when I was little. And the last question, how is the world different than when you were a child? The world is so different. Even, like, just the technology is different. We had this like box computer that people my age and like older would know, but younger kids probably wouldn't. Like, it was huge and ugly. The technology doesn't even compare to like the MacBook I have now, or even like the iPads, the iPods, the iPhones, MP3 players, like e-readers, like all these cool things that kids have now. And a lot of people try to hold it against them and say like, well, they're going to be a useless generation because they're not getting outside and playing, but can you really blame them? If you had all these cool things at your fingertips and you can look up anything, would you really want to go outside and chase a ball? No, you're going to want to be on the internet because that's what I do now. Like, why would I go outside? I guess that was the last question. So hopefully you enjoyed these answers. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry. Hopefully you like my next video. And I guess we'll see you next week. Thanks, bye!